Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I'm super excited for this video because I'm finally going to be testing out the Elysian palette from Copacetic Cosmetics. So this was a collaboration with Basket Case Beauty on Instagram. I'll go ahead and link the makeup brand and the collabor down below on Instagram in case you haven't heard about them, either of them before, because it's a small brand, a small Instagrammer, and I really love that. I think that's so cool. Such an amazing opportunity, and the palette is really stunning. As soon as I saw it, I just knew that this was my opportunity, the perfect time to try Copacetic Cosmetics, because they've come out with a few things over time that's just like mildly caught my attention, but this palette I think is totally my vibe. So I believe that it was inspired by the Northern Lights, which is so beautiful, and here is the inside. So there's 5 mattes and 4 shimmers, and all of the shimmers are kind of like those iridescent colors that I feel like are super hot right now on the indie makeup market. And so there's a green, a like yellowy gold, this one which looks to be super sparkly. Just from how it looks in the pan, you could fool me and say that it was a Divina Sugar Drops, and it kind of has like a pinky blue purple iridescence going on. And then this one seems to have more of just a plain pink reflect. These two look more soft. This one looks super metallic, and then this one looks super sparkly, and then all the mattes are really beautiful. I think it's just a fun color scheme, so I'm so excited to get this on my eyes. I think I'm gonna pull it up and tell you guys how much it retailed for, because I believe there was a discount code as well in case you're interested to purchase it. So this palette retails for $32, and you can use the code BASKETCASE for 10% off. I will say it's not like the most luxe feeling packaging ever. I'm pretty sure that this little front here is a sticker. The back is a sticker with all the names, which doesn't really bother me. I did notice that it has a little bit of weight to it, which I thought was unexpected and makes it feel just a touch more substantial. So as all of my first impressions, we're just going to go ahead and do some swatches. I'm going to do a look, and then I'll give you kind of my thoughts so far. First here we have a nice just soft purple matte shade. I mean, it seems to have good pigmentation, definitely a little bit of kickback. And then we have the golden shimmer, which, oh yep, definitely a little bit soft. I don't know if you guys can see that as I press in. I'm just being very gentle, but there's a little bit of kickback, but on the bright side it does look really beautiful. And then there's a nice deep matte blue shade, which I think is a really nice deepening color. Alright, so then for the next row we have this kind of shimmery green shade, which is again soft, but not quite as soft as the previous shimmer. And then we've got a neon green, definitely has a little bit of kickback, and then this shade, which looks so beautiful. So that's not nearly as soft as the Divina Sugar Drops. It seems to be packed a little bit more, but it does have some really intense shimmery glitteriness going on, and a really beautiful shift. And these shadows are all, I believe, hand pressed one at a time, which is really crazy to think about. See that shift? That shade is so beautiful. And then for the last row here we have a teal matte shade, this pinky, more satiny type color, pinky shift, and then a rosy tone, which I think is a really pretty pop of neutral, but it seems to have some really nice depth to it. I think that would be a really pretty shade on a lot of skin tones. Oops, I kind of got the other shade in there. My bad. So there is the entire palette swatched. I am super curious because, like I said, this is my first time trying Copacetic Cosmetics, so I'm not exactly sure what to expect, but I do like the color story. Everything seems to be pigmented. Definitely a bit messy. I mean, I just kind of blew on the palette, but I had a ton of kickback on the mirror, and there's a ton all over my robe and everything. So that is something to keep in mind. Everything seems to be very soft, so if you hate kickback, you hate fallout, this might not be the palette for you. But the color story in general is super pretty. I'm like staring at the palette because I'm trying to think of something I can do where I will use every single shade in this look, just because I think that's a fun challenge, because this is a really intriguing color story. All right, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I keep staring at the palette. I'm undecided, so I'm just gonna go ahead and prime my eyes, and we can just go with the flow. And if I use all the shades, I use them all. If I don't, I don't. It's not a big deal. So I'm gonna use the Anastasia eye primer today. Just need, actually, it's probably more than enough. Just a tiny little drop. All right, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and start off with this bright green first. So I'm taking that on a big fluffy brush, and I'm getting a ton of kickback, like Menagerie Whale Song type kickback. So I'm gonna go ahead and just tap off my brush really, really well before I go into my eye. And I'm gonna use that as my transition. It looks like almost nothing because I really did tap off almost all the product, but I'd rather go in with less and slowly build than go in with too much and have a mess. So it definitely does look buildable so far. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and take just a little bit of a smaller blending brush, and I'm gonna go into this teal right here. Again, lots of kickback, so I'm taking the time to tap all the excess off, and I'm gonna go ahead and put that shade directly into my crease. And then again, just slowly building it up. Kind of blending as I go, but I think I'm gonna go back in with that previous brush and no additional product. Just blend over the edge. I'm just gonna keep building. I feel like this would be a fun palette to play with, or even more fun if I had not already done my face first and I was just like going crazy. I feel like it'd be extra pigmented. So maybe I'll have to do that next time. I've just kind of gotten into this habit of doing my face first always. All right, so I feel like that looks all right. I'm gonna go ahead and go into that deep matte blue now. That navy, it just looks so pretty. So actually I'm using that same brush and just barely getting any kickback at all in that shade. So it seems to be a little bit less soft. And I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in my outer V and start blending. Just gonna go ahead and add some more as needed. I feel like that's blending pretty well for me. I like the way it's dispersing. Just going back in with a little bit more, trying to keep it nice and deep. So I really like how that's looking so far. I feel like I need to go in and blend it. Normally I would take this same brush and wipe it off. I mean, I guess I can still do that. I just have to use a tissue. I don't know what I do with my brush cleaner. I have 2 of them. Okay, I need to get organized. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take that cleaner brush and just blend the edges of that blue, just trying to make it as soft as possible. Which, I mean, I feel like it's blending like with the green and the teal and everything into like such a pretty shade. Like the gradient is really beautiful. I did get a little bit of fallout on the corners, but it's fine. I'm gonna make it work. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the purple matte shade now and just like a little pencil brush, and I'm gonna pop that onto the, get rid of more of that. Pop that onto the outer half or so, the lower lash line. I'm just gonna smudge it out a little bit. I really do think this is such a pretty color story. It's ridiculous. Kind of blended that in, and I'm gonna go ahead and take the deep navy shade, and I'm gonna pop that onto the outer most part of the eye, just kind of connecting what's happening on the lid to the lower lash line with that color. Okay, so now jumping into some shimmers. There's so many possibilities. I don't know what to do with my life. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off with my blending brush that I used before and some more of that original green shade that I used. Just gonna pick up a little bit of that, and I'm actually gonna use that just a touch on the lid to blend between the matte blue and whatever's happening next. You know, the shades do look pigmented enough to where if you wanted to do a matte lid, I feel like you definitely could. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take this green shade right here. So I picked up some, I'm tapping off the excess. I feel like even just the way, like as I'm brushing the brush into the pan, it does feel powdery and not like super creamy. So I think that I would probably really prefer this wet, but I'm gonna go ahead, give it a chance, and I'm gonna kind of blend that shade into the green I just put down. Okay, yeah, so I mean, it just looks pretty powdery, definitely not my cup of tea per se for the lid, using it dry, but I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of blend the edge out a little bit. And I'm gonna go into another shade. I'm gonna use this one right here. Did that one because it's picking up a little bit more flaky. I don't know if you can tell as I'm dipping in, it just kind of is not picking up very evenly. Let me see. I mean, it's more sparkly. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try that one wet. Just pick up as much product as I can. Gonna use the Luxe Beauty setting spray because I don't really like this for my face. So I've been getting lots of use out of it for shadows. Try that. Oh yeah, much better. Alright, so I think I'm gonna go back into the green shade. Just pick up some more of that on that brush, and I'm gonna wet it too. Just may as well make this as intense as possible, right? See, look at how intense that is when it's wet. The good news is that that looks really, 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 really beautiful. The bad news is I have so much fallout. I think now I'm gonna go ahead and for my lower lash line, I'm gonna dip into this super, super sparkly shade just because it's so pretty. I cannot resist it, but given what just happened, I think I'm gonna go ahead and try another method, and I'm gonna take the NYX glitter glue and I'm gonna plop that down on my lower lash line first and use that as my tacky base so that it's not quite as messy. I'm gonna give that just a moment to dry down, and with that same brush, just gonna go into that shade right there, pink, blue, purple, shifting magicalness. I can't wait to put that all over the lid, but for now we'll settle with a lower lash line pop. Oh my gosh. So pretty. Alright, so I still made a little bit of a mess, but not nearly quite as bad. Alright, so last but not least, for my inner corner, I'm going to go ahead and take this shade that has the pink shift to it. So the only color I didn't use in this look is this more neutral tone, which I'm going to use soon because I do think it's really pretty. But I really, really like how this is turning out. So I went ahead and picked up a bunch of that pinky shade, and just for the heck of it, I'm going to spray it. I'm going to pop that right on the inner corner. I'm going to just kind of keep it in one spot, not going to go too crazy, especially not trying to blend it with the green because I think that'll get a little bit muddy. Alright, so I turned my mirror around, and I feel like from afar this look is a little crazy, very intense. I feel like it's one of those that would definitely benefit from some lashes, but I'm a little bit too lazy for that. I'm not about that life right now, so I'm going to go ahead and throw on the ColourPop gel liner in the shade Piggy Bank on my waterline, throw on some mascara, and then I'll be right back. Alright, for highlighter today, I'm going to go ahead and take the Lethal Cosmetics highlight in the shade Scatter, which is an icy lavender. I put on a really peachy blush earlier because I didn't know what I was even going to do for my eyeshadow. Now I kind of regret it because peach and purple don't exactly go together, but it's fine. And then for lipstick today, Alter Ego sent me over their new liquid lipsticks, which look like this. So these were gifted, but I'm going to go ahead and try the shade Jealousy because it looks like kind of a nice pinky tone, and I want to give them a chance. I want to do a lip swatch video, but I want to gather my thoughts first so I can do a lip swatch and review at the same time. Okay, why is that 10,000 times darker than I thought it was? Okay. Alright, y'all, so this is the finished look. I really wish I had the willpower to put lashes on right now because I feel like they would just complete this look so well, but I don't. So I really liked the palette so far. I felt like everything blended well for me. My biggest con is, like I said from the very beginning, swatching it, is that it is a little bit messy, so I just had to take my time to slowly go in with the colors. The shimmers, I would definitely recommend using a glitter glue or spraying your brush, but I think that the overall look is really beautiful, and I feel like for there only being 5 matte shades, there are so many beautiful combinations I can think of. So congrats to Basket Case Beauty. I feel like you did such a beautiful job. I can't wait to play with this again, especially this shade right here. I feel like that is such the star of the show. I feel like on the lower lash line, I don't even know if you guys can tell how beautiful it is. I just feel like, especially for like a Northern Lights inspired palette, like the purples and the blues and the pinks, like it's giving me life. So I really like this look. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I really had a lot of fun filming it and just playing with the palette. So I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.